Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Age of the Primes, the 13 Solus Prime. We have our first of the 13 and the last of the Wave 1 Deluxes here, Solus Prime. This is the toy from Wave 1 I was the most excited about. I like from the front, it kind of looks like a cool truck, Cybertronian truck, and Solus Prime has been a long time favorite character of mine ever since she was kind of teased in the Covenant of Primus and Transformers Prime. I like that she's a blacksmith. I like that she's one of the 13. But looking at this in alt mode, there's two things that I don't like about this. One, you can kind of see how small she is in my hands. The front end, if we take her hammer off, which the hammer is really cool. It's got, you know, a symbol on there on both sides. It's nicely painted. It's got a gray shaft, and it's three segments with that piece that can fold in or out, so you can store it as needed. But what I don't love about her right away is her alt mode. From the front, I think it looks pretty cool. I really like this angled grill up front. That looks very aggressive and kind of warrior-like. I like these like crazy. It's like a mix of a wheel well and like a tiny little cow catcher. I like the purple and the gold. I think that paint looks good. But when you get like right past this point, this half does not look like a vehicle. It looks like robot legs folded up and wheels kind of just stapled to the sides. I think this is not a great alt mode because of that. It just looks unfinished. After, like, if I'm looking at this half, looks great. If I'm looking at this half, it does not look great. And that's my first big disappointment. It feels like to keep, I guess, a lithe, ladylike figure, they kind of skimped on the back half. When I would have preferred big old chonkin' stompin' robot boots if it meant we got a better, like, Cybertronian truck mode. The other thing I don't like, she does roll nicely, but in terms of size, she's not that much bigger than Wasp. She's definitely smaller than like your standard deluxes here. You know, if we're comparing her to the jet modes, her wave mates, she's the second smallest out of them. And for me, I feel like the 13 need to be big. They should be the biggest of their size classes because they are these larger than life figures. It is, to me, pretty disappointing that she is so tiny. I could have been okay with like maybe Micronus Prime being, you know, a small deluxe, but I would have really preferred her to be. I mean, we've gotten things like, right, we got, and I was looking at my boxes of stuff to find him for comparison. But last year we got Transformers Unicron Trilogy, like Cybertron Hotshot, and that was a big deluxe. She could have been that size. I'm not asking her necessarily to be a Voyager, although I think I would have liked her to be a Voyager, but she could be a big deluxe instead of a little deluxe. That's disappointing. The paint apps are nice. I think she's got decent paint. I really like the gold flecks of you know, speckledness in her windshields. The little bit of yellow, the silver wheels are fine. The silver legs kind of poke through, but she's just itty bitty and tiny. In terms of transformation, it is pretty simple here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop off the base of the hammer from the head, and we can leave those to the side. Then we can come in here, and we are going to unplug on either side the sides of her truck mode, which getting those down, and then we can come in here. We can open up these fists, fold up. Oh, yeah, here's the other thing that's annoying. Because she's so tiny, a lot of her connections are very weak. So, like, stuff is going to pop off. That wrist cover is going to pop off. Pull out that wrist, close that carefully, so hopefully it doesn't pop off. We can come up here. We can open, and this will pop off. Again, frustrating. It doesn't need to pop off. It could have stayed on if we didn't use too much force, but this, come on, does peg right in. Oh, and this is frustrating. And I'm just gonna keep this in because this is, you know what? We're gonna leave that off for now. Same thing on this side. Come up, and oh, this okay. This flap will come off. Sure, we're getting there. So When this comes up, kind of comes up and out of the way, we can, if this was on here normally, it'd be like this. We can flip this over on this side. So same thing on this end. We can hold that. Hopefully this will, it's on a double armature, so getting it back in the slot without it like angling out of the way is a little frustrating, but there, okay, it's back. Flip this up and out of the way like so. Coming on the back here, we can lift and separate out the top of the truck half a little bit. With that out of the way, we can come in here and we can flip down these. And then her leg, her foot will pop off because that is, you know, great quality Hasbro. This will come down. The problem here is this mushroom peg doesn't fit well. It doesn't seat well into this section. So it's going to want to twist itself out if you spin it. So you got to make sure you're like keeping pressure on that end. Untabbing this piece, folding that down. We can come in, fold this around. We can fold out this wheel, which lets us fold out that heel and then fold the wheel back. Same thing on this side, fold out that wheel, fold out that heel, fold it back, and then reseat our mushroom pegs. There we go. Flip around the whole legs and waist piece. Come in on this piece, flip this 90 degrees, and it'll allow it to pass through her other skirt pieces. Flip it back, and it forms one solid skirt piece. Folding these back shoulder pieces on both sides, and then these can collapse down. And then we can come in and open up her back, folding out her head, like so, and then folding this piece down and collapsing it, and her backpack does tab in there. Oh, and I'm just a little tall. Still figuring out the new setup a little bit. So here is Solus Prime. We can give her her hammer. This piece just wants to come in through here and then plug it in right here. And in robot mode, she looks okay. This is very based off of her, like, what was it? Power of the Primes, like Netflix series, that design. I very much prefer the aligned Solus Prime design where she's got like the cable hair. I think that's really cool. But like it looks fine. It's just like, look at how fiddly that was. These shoulders want to pop off. This panel wants to pop off. These panels want to pop off. These legs want to pop off. It's just a bunch of frustration. I do wish that she had a little more paint. We see basically all the same paint apps we saw before. A little bit of yellow as we unfolded some sections. But I think I wanted a little more detail on her chest. I think this is a nice enough head sculpt, but it, oh, did it just come loose? Yeah, look at that. All right. I was just about to talk about that articulation. Yeah, this wants to work its way loose, so you got to like get that platform down and then really get that head in there. Yeah, there's no grip. It's just quality issue after quality issue that takes a lot of the punch out of this being the first of the 13. And it's disappointing that it's Solus Prime because she's one of my favorites. You know, okay, so her head is super wiggly because it's not attached, but hopefully I can fix that. Her arm can go 360. It can go out that far before it starts getting in the way of itself with that big shoulder pad. Can go 90, can swivel at the bicep. She does have wrist articulation because it's a ball joint, which I appreciate. She can do a full Van Damme, basically. Yeah, full Van Damme. She can move her skirt out of the way, so she can kick up plenty far, like so. Plenty far. She can kick back. Sure, her back of her truck cab just gets in the way, so she can't kick back that far. She does have a fake double-bended knee, which, you know, can... if you're careful with things popping off, you can get some additional articulation out of that. She does have thigh swivel, but it's limited because of how high the thigh cut is, unfortunately. She does have waist swivel, but it's limited because of the backpack, unfortunately. She does have ankle swivel, but it's limited because of that mushroom peg, unfortunately. And she has some heel articulation. So, like, the basics are there, but the quality, gosh, and that's really frustrating. It's just so loose. I mean, I can future floor polish this, but there we go. That's a little better. The quality control issues are so bad, they really take away from her. And it's the sort of thing where I'm like, maybe I can get the Takara version and it'll be a little better. But what if it's not better? And what if it's, expensive? And I still don't like the base design. It's a fine enough robot design, but she could be bigger. I mean, let's do some size comparisons here. Here she is next to Wasp. And here is Air Raid and Slingshot, or Firefly and Air Raid and Slingshot. So here's the thing, right? I want her to tower over a standard deluxe. Like, these are combiner deluxes. These are, I would consider, like the most standardized height deluxes. Now she's taller than Wasp for sure, but she's basically shorter than a standard deluxe. And I want her as one of the 13 to be looking down on all the other robots in her size class. I want the 13 to stand apart because they are that special. They should have that sort of majesty. It's surprising to say this, but this is not my favorite Solus Prime. My favorite Solus Prime is still Power of the Prime Solus Prime, that teeny tiny little Prime Master that I have somewhere in my boxes. I couldn't fish it out for this review. I am really, unfortunately, disappointed. I think the design, it's not a bad figure, but the quality control makes it a bad figure, and that's a bummer. I'm still going to keep her. I'm going to get all 13 to kind of give a total review, but I'm pretty bummed about this. I really want to check out, there was, Oculus Max, like Mastermind Creations came out with Oculus Max, Seraph Promenon, I think was her name, which was their Masterpiece RC redone as Solus Prime. I kind of want to go track that figure down because I think I'd like that one more than this one. That is a look at Transformers Generations Age of the Primes, the 13 Solus Prime. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will catch you all on the next one. Bye!